The Trump campaign in 2024 is the gift that keeps on giving. So Donald Trump, when speaking about awarding Miriam Adelson the Presidential Medal of Freedom, compared it to the Medal of Honor and completely denigrated and disrespected not only the Medal of Honor, but also the Presidential Medal of Freedom. He disrespected both, which he's already done before. In case you didn't know, Donald Trump awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom to Rush Limbaugh. So it's already been sullied and dirtied and ruined. It's kind of like the one drop rule like the racists have. You put one drop of Rush Limbaugh in anything and it's just all up. Like, oh God, bro. We have to destroy it now and make a new one and just kick everyone out. Just leave Rush Limbaugh with the let him keep that and then award everyone a new one, because Trump just ruins everything he touches. But Donald Trump, when speaking about the Presidential Medal of Freedom in comparison to the Medal of Honor, which they really should never be compared, he sits there and basically says the Medal of Honor is worse because, you kind of have to put your life on the line for your country in order to get it. I'm not making this up.
I have to say, Miriam, I watched Sheldon sitting so proud in the White House when we gave Miriam the Presidential Medal of Freedom. That's the highest award you can get as a civilian. It's the equivalent of the Congressional Medal of Honor, but civilian version. It's actually much better because everyone gets the Congressional Medal of Honor. That's soldiers. They're either in very bad shape because they've been hit so many times by bullets, or they're dead. She gets it, and she's a healthy, beautiful woman. It's very...
Donald Trump saying this is actually a blessing in disguise. I want any Trump supporter watching this to realize this is exactly who Donald Trump is. I see many meat slurpers of Donald Trump on social media panicking, complaining, pulling their hair out. Cease the worrying. Rest assured that this is who Donald Trump actually is. This is who he is as a man, as a human being, as an individual. Donald Trump awarded a donor of his, Miriam Adelson, a donor of his. He awarded her the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Donald Trump awards it to Rush Limbaugh as well. He sits there and says, well, she got the equivalent of the Medal of Honor and she's not shot up or blown up. And the crowd starts clapping as if that makes any sense. Republicans, I want to remind you of something. You know how you guys go on and complain about the elites and the establishment and how they don't care about the American people and they don't care about the average man? This is a prime example. Donald Trump is sitting there, probably talking to rich donors, and they're all clapping. They're all clapping. Donald Trump does not represent the average man. Let that lie go today. Let it go. It's a lie. And we're not playing with you anymore. You're lying. He's lying. All of you MAGA, you're liars. This is not a man who represents the common man. No one in the Trump family has ever served our nation ever. Ever, ever, ever. And the one who ever has been in public service tried to insurrect the government. In short, they're ghetto, they're bums, they're losers, and there is nothing respectable, noble, admirable about this family. It is disgusting. It's disgusting. There is nothing equivalent to the Medal of Honor. Nothing. I don't give a what you come up with. There is nothing equal to putting your life on the line in service of your country, be it dead or alive, coming home and receiving the Medal of Honor. That right there, there's nothing equal to that. There is nothing equal to that at all. There's nothing equal. It's not a debate. It's not a discussion. I don't even understand why, Trump. Well, I know why. Trump respects, reveres nothing. There is nothing that receives reverence in his world besides himself. Besides himself. That's why he can comfortably sit there and disrespect not only the Presidential Medal of Freedom, but the Medal of Honor. And the Presidential Medal of Freedom and Donald Trump, like I said before, have an interesting relationship. This is a man who awarded Rush Limbaugh the Presidential Medal of Freedom. It's insane. The people who have been awarded that award, Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, John F. Kennedy posthumously, and he was the creator of the award, if I recall correctly. Joe Biden. This is insane to me that these people have had their honor besmirched and ruined by Donald Trump. That's what he does. Everything he touches is destroyed. Congress destroyed, infected by little insects like Marjorie Taylor Greene and friends. The Supreme Court filled with seditious traitors. It's chaos, it's mayhem, it's bedlam, all at the behest of Trump. Donald Trump ruins everything, bar none. Bar none. It's not even a comparison. The reality is this. Donald Trump and the military, rocky relationship. This guy said, I like people who weren't captured. Simply because he had beef with John McCain, he sat there and said, I like people who weren't captured. That is how disgusting of a human being Donald Trump is. Donald Trump sat there and said, I gave John McCain the funeral he wanted. I didn't get a thank you, but it's whatever. I don't care. I didn't get a thank you, but it's whatever. Insinuating that maybe, just maybe, he could have declined it. Maybe I could have, Maybe I could have declined it. Class, decorum, these things they don't fire off in his brain. He's lacking in those qualities completely. No other president could ever conceive of this kind of behavior but Donald Trump. Most ghetto president we've ever had, ever. It's undeniable. Donald Trump respects absolutely nothing, and his supporters will contort themselves in the most gruesome and brutal of mental gymnastics to justify the disgusting things he says. Comparing the awarding of the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which you ruined, by the way, to one of your donors, you award it to one of your donors, you compare that to the Medal of Honor, which is awarded to selfless individuals who put their life on the line for the United States of America, something you refuse to do, draft dodging Donald. You have the audacity to denigrate that honor by comparing it to a Medal of Freedom that you've completely ruined and the specific awarding to one of your billionaire donors. It is insane. It is insane. It is insane. But it's also funny to me. Events like this make me laugh. Ha ha ha. Because the reality is, all of this is sinking Donald Trump's ship. It is. You can say whatever you want, but the quicksand in which Donald Trump sinks becomes quicker every single day. It's just the truth. Everyone can see the ship is sinking. It's not having the same effect it used to. More and more people are energized and emboldened by Kamala Harris, and liberals are becoming far more aggressive. If mainstream media won't kick Donald Trump shit in for saying stuff like this, alternative liberal media will do it for them. We'll get our hands dirty for them if they don't want to do it. We'll do the dirty work. We'll get it done because someone has to do it. Someone has to get it done. Donald Trump is the most disrespectful president of all time. Of all time. And you, Trump supporters, you want to support Trump, fine. Acknowledge and realize, but I want you to acknowledge, he does not respect the United States military. Full stop. You want to support Trump? Cool. Acknowledge the reality, though. He does not respect our military, the Medal of Honor, the Congressional Medal of Freedom, or our democracy. If you want to support Trump, that's your right to do so, but acknowledge exactly what it is you support. Stop prettying it up with lies and misinformation. Just cap. They're really just lying. Y'all be lying. This man has disrespected the highest honors a civilian or serviceman could ever possibly attain. It's disgusting. But it's a reflection of who Trump is. He is a draft dodger. Not a single member of his family has ever served this country. He's a rich kid from New York. He cannot relate to the common man in any way, shape, or form. He's standing there in front of a bunch of his billionaire donors, talking about how he awarded his donor the Presidential Medal of Freedom. He doesn't respect anybody. He doesn't respect anyone. Donald Trump does not empathize with you, the common man. That's why he sent a whole bunch of you into the Capitol. That's why when you were in there for 3 hours committing federal crimes, he didn't call you guys off like, whoa, don't want my supporters getting locked up, guys, come back. Instead, he let you guys rummage through for 3 hours in hopes that you could physically force Congress to install him in power. Illegally, by the way. That is exactly who Donald Trump is. You all Trump supporters are just dirty plebs to him. It's the truth. It's always been the truth. There is nothing common, normal, respectable about Trump or his entire clan. There's nothing about them that's American in any way, shape, or form. Donald Trump is when he looks at democracy. He's when he looks at the troops. He's when he looks at decorum and class. Donald Trump is just completely disgusted by everything that keeps our nation functioning and respectable. It's the truth. Sitting there talking about it's actually better because the people who win the Medal of Honor are shot up or dead. What? But this is exactly who he is, and this is how he thinks. That is who Donald Trump is. That's who he is. And there's no denying it. It is the absolute unadulterated truth. And for those of you pulling your hair out, going crazy, running around the room, because Trump is crashing out, be still and know that this is Trump. It is. This is who he is. This is exactly who Donald Trump is. When he goes on the stage talking about, is Kamala black? She became a black person. That's who he is. That's exactly who Donald Trump is. Trump always denies saying things. But then when you look at what he actually says, it matches up. What I mean by this is Donald Trump was accused of, referring to third world developing nations as whole countries. He vehemently denies this. The only problem is he told congresswomen of color to go back to their crime-infested countries before telling America how to do things. Because apparently, being a citizen and serving in Congress does not make you an American. You're not really an American. You need to be white. You need to be white before you can tell America how to do things. So as he denies, I never said that. Really? Did you not? Because we kind of have you saying basically the exact same thing to American citizens and servicewomen on Twitter. We have the evidence. Donald Trump denies calling veterans who died in World War I suckers and losers. He denies saying he didn't want disabled veterans around him. He denies all of these things, and yet this is a man who fixed his mouth to say, I like people who weren't captured. This is a man who fixed his mouth to say, I gave John McCain the funeral he wanted. I didn't get a thank you. Basically insinuating he could have or maybe should have denied it because he didn't like John McCain. That's what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with just a ghetto criminal. Donald Trump denigrates the Medal of Honor by saying, well, you'd have to possibly die or be wounded to get this one. This Medal of Freedom, Presidential Medal of Freedom that you don't have to really risk your life for, this one's way better. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. And Trump supporters will engage in the most vicious of mental gymnastics to explain all of this away. The reality is, Donald Trump does not respect the police or our military. This is the same man who sat there and said he would pardon people who attacked cops on January 6th, and I believe him. I believe him. I believe him. I really do believe him. Believe Donald Trump when he says the things he says. It is all a true and real reflection of the man that he is. The ship continues to sink. Be sure to share the video of Trump saying that to your friends and family, please. If they're Trump supporters, show them that video. Communicate the absurdity of Donald Trump. Donald Trump has denigrated every single respectable thing about this country. The worst family to ever immigrate to this nation was the Trump family, bar none. Bar none. Bar none. The worst family to ever show up here, Trump family, period. Seriously. The worst one ever. It's just the truth. If you're offended, I don't really care. Donald Trump proves every one of his critics right every single day. So if you have a problem, take it up with Donald. Don't argue with me. Argue with Donald. I'm going to be going live in the next few hours. Be sure to tune in 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Hibbie Dibby Debate.